In July 2008, WWE officially went PG. Ever since then, everything changed for the popular World Wrestling Entertainment Company. They started targeting younger audiences instead of targeting more hardcore fans from the Attitude Era. Everything changed from then. John Cena went from being this beloved hardcore anti-hero to being some sort of frutty pebbles marketing guy. He stopped rapping for some reason because he assumed it was not a good example for younger viewers. Anyway, Summerslam 2008 was the very first pay-per-view WWE held under a PG viewership. It was unexpectedly a really good pay-per-view. After that, WWE saw the good reviews and continued with the PG programming. As time went on, some wrestlers went away and began to make their names for themselves in Hollywood, and some wrestlers began to rise up and began to etch their names in WWE history. The modern era is surprisingly doing well in times where wrestling isn't popular as it was in the late 1990s. Viewership numbers might be slightly declining for the past year, but it isn't that bad as everyone thinks it is. If Vince McMahon and the USA Network delete the last hour or the last 30 minutes of Monday Night Raw, it has the potential of drawing the same views SmackDown gets weekly, if not more. Anyways, in today's video, I am going to be pinning the PG era and the reality era against each other to see which one is better, considering that they are both held under a PG viewership. So let's get right to the video. I think we all know that the modern era's women's division is way better than the PG era's one. As much as people can say that the current Raw women's division sucks, I think we can all agree that it is a lot better than what it used to be 13 years ago. The PG era had a lot of women, but a small percentage of them could actually wrestle. People like AJ Lee, Beth Phoenix, Caitlyn, Mickie James, Victoria, Kelly, and Alicia Fox are one of the few examples. But the modern era has the best women's division every wrestling company wishes for. People Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, Io Shirai, Asuka, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Carmella, Rhea Ripley, and Emma Moon. I'm running out of breath. I could go on and on every female wrestling star WWE has. And in 2018, they had their very own all-women's pay-per-view, which was called Evolution, which was arguably the best pay-per-view of that year. I mean, look at Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. I highly doubt that the women of the PG era would have been able to put on such an extraordinary matchup. They even main evented WrestleMania 35 with an action-packed build-up. Even AJ Lee admitted herself in a 2014 interview that women will never main event WrestleMania.
Talk about your segments being some of the higher rated segments. Will we ever in our lifetime see a WrestleMania headlined by divas?
Oh gosh. Realistically, no.
But they did. Becky Lynch even main evented 3 of the 4 biggest pay-per-views in the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series. So it's safe to say that the women of the current era have without a doubt the best women's division, so the reality era wins this one, making it 1-0. Tag teams are one of the most important pieces that make up a wrestling company. Both eras have amazing and talented tag teams. One of the most popular tag teams are the New Day and the Usos. These two are one of the most popular teams in the last decade. When comparing the tag team division in both eras, it is very hard, but when you look at it very closely, the PG era had better tag teams. And what makes it even better is that the tag team titles were unified, so the tag team titles were not separated on Raw and SmackDown like they are right now. But both this era had a phenomenal tag teams. Had Team Hell No, the Primetime Players, the Awesome Truth, the Shield, the Lucha Dragons, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, the Miz and John Morrison. Don't get me wrong, the current tag team division is good. We have the Street Profits, the Hurt Business, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Viking Raiders. The tag team division from the PG era were really energetic, and matches they had were really, in my opinion, WrestleMania worthy. Don't get me wrong, I loved the New Day versus the Hurt Business on Raw, but the Usos versus the New Day versus the Lucha Dragons was impressive. The athleticism was on a lot of level, so the PG era gets the win for the first time in the video, making it 1-1. Pop culture and media appearances are an important part in the representation of any company. You need to be socially active so the viewers of your product can see how serious your company is. WWE is known for the connection it has with its fans, especially emotionally. The PG era has some special connection with its fans in a special way. It was always in the conversation whenever talking about pop culture. Right now, WWE is trying to reconnect to the very same conversation by being constantly active on its social accounts and by being one of the most popular international superstars to Raw every week Bad Bunny. They even gave a man a 24/7 title. The PG era had one of the most popular celebrities on his programming every year, whether it's performing at WrestleMania or even appearing on an episode of Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. So the PG era wins this one, making it 2-1. This is the most important topic of the entire video. Star power truly defines an entire era. The Golden Age have had people like Hulk Hogan, Alundra Blaze, Ric Flair, and Macho Man Randy Savage. The Attitude Era had stars like Stone Cold, D-Generation X, and The Rock, while the Ruthless Aggression Era had John Cena, Evolution, Rey Mysterio, and Edge to keep them afloat. Every era needs certain wrestlers to keep the audience invested in them enough for the company to make them the biggest thing in all of entertainment. The Attitude Era would have been nothing without the biggest stars I've mentioned before. Both eras have major star power. The PG era had John Cena, Daniel Bryan, AJ Lee, Randy Orton, and CM Punk, while the reality era had huge stars like Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, Sasha Banks, The Miz, and Becky Lynch to make it feel important. While we can still compare these two, the reality era has bigger star power. WrestleMania 36 had 967 million viewers, which was close to 1 billion, the highest number of viewership in the history of WrestleMania, while the most viewed WrestleMania from the PG era had 744 million viewers. So as you can see, the reality era had a lot of star power. Even though Raw ratings are slightly declining lately, I'm confident that by the end of 2021, both Raw and SmackDown will have been reaching 3 million viewers. So as you can see, the reality era has more star power and wins the final round. And now my final thoughts on the PG era versus the modern era is that the modern era is a lot better than what people perceive it to be. People can say that Raw sucks all they want, but if they just give it a chance, it's really good. Anyways, the modern era has been very exceptional for me in my opinion, because there's still a lot of star power and people can see that it's really entertaining once they move on from the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras. Don't get me wrong, the PG era was really good. I enjoyed the CM Punk storyline with John Cena back in 2011, and the Daniel Bryan storyline with Triple H and Randy Orton in 2014 was really good and entertaining. But I think if we all to take a moment to appreciate the level of athleticism and entertainment the modern era gives us, I think we can all agree that it is way better than the PG era. I mean, look at SmackDown 2016 and in 2018. The level of creativity WWE has made me realize how good the era is. I think that we are taking wrestling way too seriously instead of enjoying it like little kids. So the modern era wins this one. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.